Well, a fucking awful loss yet again. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're on opposite ends of the fucking spectrum
Very
here.
opposite. Very
Complete opposite
opposite.
ends. Hayden's a sympathizer. I am not. I understand his point of views, but man, going from a divisional loss, not just a divisional loss, a bad divisional loss to losing to, yes, going into this game an 8-3 team, but an 8-3 shit fucking team. This team
Okay,
couldn't
okay,
fucking
okay,
beat. No,
okay,
wait a minute.
okay.
This team couldn't beat any team with a winning record going into this game. I think aside from one game, I don't remember who. I don't have the schedule in front of me. In those games, in that 8-game streak, and now a 9-game winning streak almost, they haven't beat a team by more than a touchdown. And again, I think except for one game. To go out like how you did and have fans tailgate from 5 in the morning up until 3 o'clock game time
Well,
on
all
Black
right, let me
Friday,
cut you
the
off. Let me cut
biggest
you
game.
off
Hold,
just to
wait a
get
minute,
this
wait
in.
a minute, wait a minute. Probably the biggest fucking game for the fans this year until the playoffs comes. You go out there and you shit the bed like a bunch of assholes, like a bunch of morons. I mean, it starts at the fucking top, and we'll get to that. But I hate Patullo. I really do. But I'll say this: to just only blame him is ignorant. It is ignorant, and it's not true. It is not true. I get it. I hate him. I can't stand him. I don't like him. I don't like. I really question if I like Sirianni or not. And love Jalen Hurts. He is not playing good football this year. He's not.
Well, let me start you off with this. To talk about the fans tailgating and all that and whatever performance they put on the field, I don't give a shit.
Well,
Because to be honest,
it
I
just
think
adds it.
no, and listen, this Black Friday, it's not really like an in-store shopping holiday anymore. Everybody goes out and does their online shopping, so you have extra time in the day, and people went and tailgated for the game. In my opinion, I find myself in the same spot I was in 2018, 2019. I just, after winning a Super Bowl the year prior, and as the feeling of jubilation when they won, it's just carried over. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm not sparing this team from the flaws that they have, but I'm saying just as a fan, I find myself caring a little bit less because I know how hard it is to repeat as champions. And
But why do you think like
hold
that
on,
though?
hold on, especially with the way that the Eagles build their rosters. They build through the drafts and they let young guys develop, and then their veteran guys, which is what they had in 2022, they had a lot of veteran guys, and in 2024, they had a lot of veteran guys. They couldn't sign them. They were guys at the end of their rookie deals, and listen, we knew that this roster was not as good as it was in years prior. We majorly,
Defensively, we said that. Defensively, we said that.
yeah, but offensively, in
You lost
totality, I
Becton.
think
Obviously, yeah.
Becton was a
Like,
huge loss because Tyler
yes.
Steen has consistently been an issue. And I'll tell you
But
why I just find myself not as angry about what this team does. It's because I've seen two championships. I don't really count the 2000. I didn't see the 2008 Phillies. To win a to the the emotions that a fan goes through throughout the course of the season, it's hard to win. And to get it done and do it the way that they did last year in such dominant fashion throughout the whole year, I was so satisfied at the end of last year. We went to the parade together. Like how fun was that day
it was
alone
great. No, I
getting to
get it.
do
It was
that?
great.
So I'm just like this year, like I didn't like how 2023 went, but when it was over, I was like, you know, they didn't win in 2022. But if this year goes the same way and they don't get it done, I'm going to be like, they won the year prior. And I think that they're going to bring back a team next year that's going to be able to compete once again.
All right.
Like
Well,
that's my stance.
I said at the
And
beginning, it
if
starts at
I'm
the
looking
top.
over, I've got the Sixers game on in the
That's
background
fine.
trying to
That's fine.
follow.
Like I said, it starts at the top. And you made the point. You said this team was not as good roster wise this year. We knew that. We knew coming into the year, at least for me defensively, looking at the defensive side of the ball, that this team was not going to be as good as they are. Now, every fan was wrong about that. The defense is clearly much better than the offense,
Yeah, not
without
today.
question.
They
Not
couldn't
today,
stop a
but you got to
nosebleed today.
they are exhausted. They are fucking exhausted because this offense cannot stay on the field. It's
They're on
consistent three and outs.
they're on the field a lot, but what I'll say is uh they have a consistent rotation of what felt like defensive tackles. But today to start the second half, Jalen Carter basically was held out the first two
Yeah,
drives of the second
he's a
half.
ghost. He's a ghost.
No. He was not in the game. Like they weren't putting him in the game. And then
No,
he
but I'm saying
showed back up.
he's been a ghost all year. This guy's
Well,
been a ghost all
he had a
year.
sack today, and I think he still influences the is major in the pass rush because he basically forces a lot of double teams and he eats up a lot of real estate. And again he had a sack today. Like today, they were basically running outside zone and counter pretty much every play, and the Eagles couldn't stop it. For the praise that we gave on last week's show for how good our linebackers have been this year, today they were not very good at all. Our
No.
linebackers did not play well. N'Kobe Dean had a bad holding penalty. Zach Bond, it felt like, was a non-factor.
Yeah,
And especially now, you need our linebackers to step up because we know Sidney Brown can't play on the back end. We knew that. We said that last week.
he's my uncle made a good point earlier. You're only as good as your weakest link. And your weakest link is Sidney Brown. And
And
Sidney
that's tough.
Brown is fucking garbage. He's
It's tough.
ass. And I hope you're listening. You're
And
probably
and
not.
and Reed Blankenship played
He's
shitty
also
today
bad.
too.
And I'll be the first one to say it. I don't think DeGene is playing that well either.
No,
There were
but
there were
they were
multiple plays today where he over pursued. Multiple. And he's done that in the past. This isn't the first time he's done this.
and
So to go back to your
sorry,
point of looking at the roster and seeing how much not I don't want to say worse because it wasn't much worse, but it wasn't as good as last year. I said it starts at the top. Howie Roseman. You could have re-signed Mekhi Becton. That should have been the first guy you re-signed.
yeah, Mekhi
If it
Becton
if
floated around in free agency for a little
Yeah,
while.
if it would have costed Sweat and
Milton
Milton
Williams,
Williams and CJ
As
Gardner Johnson and
Isaiah
Darius Slay and
Rogers,
all them, Isaiah Rogers, I would have been completely fine. But you let the most pivotal, pivotal piece of your offense, aside from Saquon Barkley and aside from Jalen Hurts, you let your most pivotal guy walk. That's payable money. What's his contract now in San Diego or LA? It's like
let
what,
me
80
look.
million? Almost maybe a little over 100 million. I don't think it's
I'm looking.
crazy. So,
His
yeah,
deal is 2 years, 20 million, with a $5 million signing bonus and 6 million
exactly.
guaranteed.
That's incredibly doable. You have
And
Tyler Steen,
and he's
who
been
is,
banged up at times this year, but still,
yeah,
like
so is
Tyler Steen
everybody
has
else.
played, and Tyler Steen has been a weak link for this
Yeah.
team.
So,
But
I don't know. To me, it
to
goes all
put
the
the
way back to the
blame
top.
solely on Tyler Steen is not an issue. The
No,
biggest
no,
flaw of
no.
this team for the whole year has been this offensive line group has not played well enough. They get
Yeah.
poorly timed penalties. They're not good in the run game, and I don't think it's all their fault in the run game. I think Saquon Barkley has not been as good this year. He misses a lot of cutback lanes. He's jumping into handoffs, which is an issue. He's basically dancing in the backfield before he even has the ball, and that's been a problem. But I mean,
How about
today
Tank Bigsby today? No carries. What is with that? You knew Saquon was banged up coming into the game.
well,
So
your
why
goal is to
is
get your. But I'm not. Listen, I'm not sitting here and saying Saquon Barkley's lost all his talent in the
no,
span of
no,
one
no,
year.
no, 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 no,
I don't have an
no.
issue
But what
with
I'm
them
saying
not
is,
giving Tank. I know Tank Bigsby is averaging a ridiculous amount of yards per carry since he's gotten here, but like to fit Tank Bigsby into the game plan, especially when you're going to throw the ball 34 times,
yeah.
like
Hold on. I'm getting water. Keep talking. Hold on.
yeah, like I'm not overly concerned with Tank Bigsby not getting carries. What I definitely am concerned with is Jalen Hurts showed some flaws in the passing game today. He wasn't very accurate. He missed AJ Brown on what would have been a first down. It was like a 3rd and 4, and he threw a bad ball to Brown, which he caught, but then Brown went to the ground and then he tried to fight forward for extra yards. He early in the game There was a poorly made route concept by Kevin Patullo where he put Jahan Dotson and AJ Brown basically running into the same area, and Hurts missed AJ Brown, who was again open.
The Smith
Um,
throw was pretty
the
bad.
Smith throw was bad, which
That would have been an interception if it wasn't for Smith. That would have been picked off.
which one?
If
I'm
Smith
talking
didn't
about the
get
one
a
on the first drive.
yeah.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
the
The
slant
one on the
across the
first.
middle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one on
It was like
the
a
one on the
10 and
first
in.
drive that he underthrew Devontae Smith. That led to a punt.
Yeah.
There was the obviously the miss to Devontae Smith on the slant that would have probably been a touchdown. Um, it wasn't the best game from Jalen Hurts. Now, I will say there were times where he looked good. Him and AJ clearly have seemed to have gotten into a rhythm, which is going to be important for this team coming down the stretch. They play some teams that they're going to be able to throw the ball against, and it's going to be vital for them to do that. I think we can both
I don't
agree
know.
on that.
I agree to an extent.
This is
I
not a
just feel
running
like it.
team. This team cannot
No,
run the
I
ball.
just feel
So,
like it has sacrificed other parts of the offense in order to get AJ Brown the ball.
but what's our offensive identity?
We don't have one. We don't have one. I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I
like
get it.
I'd rather see them throw the ball than try and run the ball and constantly live in 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9. Like that's what it would look like if they were running the ball on like last year their recipe was run on first down, run on second down, sometimes run on third down if they were in third and short. And then they were able to move guys across the formation. They had a lot more motioning in their offense last year under Kellen Moore. And they were able to pull guys across the formation. We saw the one play on the first, or maybe it was the second drive, where they had Devontae Smith on the corner route, where they pulled Hurts on a bootleg, and they got that was probably their best offensive play of the day outside of the AJ Brown touchdown down the field. Was the little
Yeah.
corner route they hit Devontae Smith with?
You pointed it out. There's no identity with this team at
No
all,
identity.
like whatsoever. You could look at other teams like the Sixers, for example, when they had it when Embiid was, quote unquote playing. Let's just take the MVP year, for example. The offensive identity was run the offense through Joel.
Right. And
The
then
Flyers'
they're gonna
identity,
space the floor with shooters.
even this year, I guess to an extent, hold on to the puck as much as you can. I think they're bottom seven in the league in shots on goal with Rick
Yeah.
Tocchet this year, which is a pattern in his career. But in the third period, fire as many shots on goal as you can. That's their identity.
And they come back in a lot of games.
In shootouts, they're 8-0 right now. They
And
have never
even if
lost
you
in a shootout this year.
And even if you want an NFL example, because they were talking about it on the broadcast, the Bears' identity and what they do well is they run the ball well, and then
Yeah,
they throw Caleb Williams under center, and they run a lot of play action, and that's what they did today to beat the Eagles. Coming
which is
into this
surprising
game, the
because
Bears don't stop the run well. The Bears
yeah,
aren't a great. The Bears take the ball away. That's their defensive identity, and they turn the ball over twice. And the second
yeah.
one really pissed me off because I'm getting sick of the tush push. I've hated the name all along. Whatever name you give it, the tush push, the I don't know what the other one they had for it was something corny like the butt sneak or something. I don't know, something
Yeah.
corny, and I hated it. But I've been saying this for forever, and this year since the tush push has been working less. Just put Jalen Hurts under center, line Saquon Barkley up in single back, and just run the regular sneak. Because the idea that you could hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley on a 3rd and 1, and then you just get under there and sneak it like Caleb Williams did twice today. Like, why do they never do that? Why do they have to line up in the sneak where you
I don't
know
know.
damn
I don't
well
know.
what they're doing every time? It's just a lack of creativity. And that's been the problem with Sirianni and his offensive coordinator hires. This isn't even a Howie Roseman issue that Kevin Patullo is here. This is
No,
Sirianni's guy. Both times Howie Roseman has went out and gotten our offensive coordinator, it's been Shane Steichen and it was Kellen Moore. And he brought in Vic Fangio too. I'll throw him that one too because Vic Fangio again, I thought the defense outside of stopping the run, which they went to 5 down linemen. That's the adjustment that they had to make. They just
couldn't
they got
stop it.
manhandled. They
Yeah.
got manhandled today.
Yeah, to a certain point, it's on the players on the field,
And we'll go to
which
closing
goes to
statements here because
which goes to my
we
next
like to
point,
stay to
though.
schedule.
I think to just blame Kevin Patullo is completely ignorant. It means you're not watching the
They're not
games.
executing offensively. The players.
They can't do anything from Saquon to Hurts to even AJ Brown aside from the game today. But if you're more happy about AJ Brown getting the ball today than you are that we fucking lost, that you're not pissed off enough that we lost, but you're happy AJ Brown got the ball, fuck you. Because that's not what this fucking game's about. It's not about one guy getting the ball. It's just not. They
Yeah,
cannot
I
execute.
mean,
They
I,
can't do
I'm
anything. And somehow we're 8-4. I don't understand how. I really don't get it. I just don't get it at
well,
all. At all.
if there's anything to give you confidence about, I just don't think the NFC is.
All right.
I think the NFC has a lot of teams that I believe are pretenders more than they are contenders. Like, you know, I
Well,
think the
looking at the
Rams are
rest of
pretty
the
good,
year,
but
looking at the rest of the year, looking at the schedule, what do you think we end up as? Going game by game.
I think that they could easily. Listen, it depends how they respond. I think this week against the Chargers is more of a response game than today was because I think in the Eagles facility they genuinely believed they gave the game away to Dallas. Today they got beat. The Bears played better than the Eagles did. You could argue that the Eagles, out they played a lousy second half against Dallas, but they had a lot of penalties. Um, they
It's
missed a
every
field goal. They
game,
had
it
two
seems like,
fumbles.
though.
Yeah, with the penalties. But I think that the only game that I look at their schedule and I say they're going to lose, if Buffalo is still in the hunt, well, Buffalo will be in the hunt, but if Buffalo is still fighting for a wild card game, that game in Buffalo, the second to last week of the year, is going to be really tough to win. But I think every other game, I think they're going to be in. I think the Buffalo game is just the one that I'm going to say loss. I'm still going to,
I mean,
the week of, I'm going to pick the Eagles to win. But I mean, I
well,
think
the
that one.
Chargers are playing bad football. Oakland's a bad team.
And they should
Commanders,
get Washington twice, and they should
I don't
get,
think I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They did.
who knows what
Listen,
you're
they
getting
lost.
with Washington, though. Like
You have no
Washington,
idea. Jaden Daniels could be back.
yeah, but I still think they
Like,
should get Washington twice.
I
And
hope they do, but I
Washington's
think the
3 and
only
8. I mean, Washington's not very good.
I think we lose to the Chargers, and I think we lose to the Bills. After that, I don't. And maybe the Commanders in the last game of the year.
So they win the
But
NFC East.
yeah, but
So
at what cost?
we'll reconvene. And listen, we said it last week. If they get a home playoff game, I just don't see teams coming in here and winning. Now it's hard to say that today after they got manhandled at home. But I'm just
Yeah.
confident with this team playing at home. But let's move on to a brighter topic, all right? The
Well,
Flyers.
hold on. What's going on in the Sixers game? I'm not. I
Sixers,
don't. I'm
they
not even
were
looking
up
at it.
15, but they just gave up a three. Tyrese Martin just hit a three from about 38 feet and a half. That's like the fourth time this year. They're up 12.
Okay.
But brighter topic. Flyers won again today. Flyers, I think, what have they won now? Three or four straight?
They've won four straight, I believe.
Four in a row, and most of them have been in overtime, so they're getting an extra point. I mean, it feels
Hmm.
like every night they're playing in overtime. But what we
Yeah.
wanted to talk about were some comments made by Frank Saravalli. And basically, to give you a gist, because I was kind of in a TikTok loophole, and
Or no,
he was
they
ta
lost. They won three straight. Excuse me. No, they've won four out of the last five.
all right, so
They
they're
got
playing
swept
good
by the
hockey.
Lightning. Yeah, they got blown out by the Lightning. That was it.
Um, so Frank Saravalli, who's a guy who probably knows a lot more about hockey than the both of us. Neither of us. This is like the first time in a while that we've both really like actually stayed tapped in with the Flyers. But Frank Saravalli was basically talking about, and it's somebody again that means that our knowledge of hockey and the Flyers is a little bit less. But I'm watching these TikToks, and the guy is basically saying the Flyers have screwed themselves over the years with some of the draft picks they've made. Porter Martone, Jet Luchenko. Um, who was the other guy they drafted? They had two picks this year.
Um, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know because I don't remember the names.
They drafted another guy. And what he was saying was basically like he thinks the Flyers need to be bad this year to get up at the top of the draft, which the Flyers' luck in the lottery has been horrendous over the years. Horrendous for as bad for how bad they've been for this long. But he was saying he's like, there's guys that they might have to trade to get draft picks because they're not going to have a good pick, and there's not really any top free agents that are available this year. And I think that's ludicrous to say that with how this team has started this season. Now, I know that you have your issues with the amount of shots that they put on goal and sometimes the way that they play, and they don't have a top goalie, and we know this stuff, but they're winning. They're winning games. They
Yeah.
have a recipe to win games. They come back. Sometimes they get down. They come back. They go to overtime. They're a point grabbing machine. Like it seems like every night they get at least 1 point, which is going to help you
Yeah.
down the stretch if you're in a wild card race. And they are in the Metropolitan, which is a tough decision. But I'll send it over to you because we were also on this. We were on very different sides.
Well, I mean, right now they're what? They're one, two, three, four, five. They're sixth in the Metro. The
That's
Rangers are
not
playing
bad.
bad. No, no. The Rangers are playing bad hockey. Penguins are, nah. They're like what, 3 games ahead of you, I believe. The Islanders not playing the best hockey. They're fourth. You just beat them. I think you took a game against the Capitals earlier in the year. I could be wrong if we've even played them or not. You just beat the Devils, what, two, three nights ago?
They've beaten the Panthers twice now. That's the defending
Yeah.
champs.
So look, we what? We didn't watch last year. I didn't watch the
No,
year before. I paid
no.
attention. I get the stats on my phone every game. From what you see, the past 2 years, they've gotten blown out. But we all know the pattern with this team, unfortunately. And this is where I agree with Frank Saravalli. They are probably not, maybe not 6 pieces away, but they're probably like 2 or 3 good pieces away from not, I don't know, not making it past the first round in the playoffs, but consistently being a team that you'll see maybe every
Right,
year or every other year.
like the Panthers,
Like
like the Stars, the Avalanche, the
I'm not
Leafs.
asking for a Stanley Cup right now.
Right.
I know that's not likely whatsoever. What I'm asking for is a competent second line, a nice backup center on the second and third line. I want a goalie who I'll give Vladar his flowers, is playing very well. So I'll say this. I want a backup goalie who is good enough to fill the shoes
Yeah,
of your starter.
but I
Harrison
don't
has been awful,
I get that, but
awful.
I don't know if they need I don't know if they might the question may be, do you go get a starting goalie and then Vladar becomes your backup? Like at the deadline, if they can get,
Then that's fine with
there's
me.
always one or two teams that have like two, good goalies. But the problem is they've drafted guys, Ivan Fedotov, I think that's his name. I mean,
Uh,
isn't he's not with the team right now, and
oh.
he wasn't very good last year.
I mean, it just seems like every 10 years with the Flyers, every 5 years with the Flyers, they just get really unlucky. It's like the process players from the Sixers. They lose players while they have them and they go to a different team, and 5 years later they're all stars. Bobrovsky, just as an example,
Yeah,
is one of the best goalies in hockey right now. He was a Flyer, what, 4 or 5, no, like 6 years ago?
it might be longer than that now. I mean, it's been a
Probably,
while
probably closer to 10, but he's
because
a great
you've got to
goalie
go through
now.
the whole Steve Mason, Michael Neuwirth time in
I
between
think it
that.
was after Ilya Brizgalov, but before Mason and Neuvirth,
That might be right.
if
I,
I'm correct.
listen, I think it's just ludicrous. Like when the Sixers, you know, like you look at the way that the Sixers kind of went through their rebuild and building up with younger guys. It was pivotal to or at the time we said it was pivotal that those years like 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, they made the playoffs. Like what would Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have looked like the year that Jimmy Butler was here if they didn't make the playoffs the year prior? Like I think it's silly when you're a team that's competing to sit here and be like, we need to be bad. Like you just appreciate the fact that the team is good,
Yeah.
the team is competing. This city has been deprived of playoff hockey for way too long. Like the last time they made the playoffs, it was the COVID bubble. There were no fans. It's been like
13
seven or
years.
eight. It's been
No,
13. No, it's been like 7 or 8
2012.
years. No, they've made the playoffs since then. They didn't. I don't know if they've gotten out of the first round, but they've made the playoff. Well, they've got out of
I
the first
can't
round in the
remember.
COVID year. The last time the Flyers made the playoffs was probably like 2 years before the bubble, or a year before the bubble. Like it's been like 6, 7, 8 years. I did that last week too. But
Yeah.
they it's been a minute since playoff hockey's been played at Wells Fargo, the Exmo,
Yeah.
the FU Center.
But I don't know. we are definitely deprived of a summer parade, regardless of that's the Sixers or the
Yeah,
Flyers.
Sixers. I mean, the Sixers are up 13 now. Kyle Lowry's getting
I'll
minutes
still
tonight if
die on
that
this
tells
hill.
you the state of the Sixers.
I think the Flyers win one before the Sixers do.
Ah,
Because
I
well,
don't.
listen, you're not going to win with Embiid.
I couldn't tell you a
That's three
timeline.
years.
I couldn't tell you a
That's
timeline for when the Sixers
I
or
don't
the
know.
Flyers are going to win.
I don't know.
I just
But
don't
with the
know enough.
Sixers though, I've learned, and I get it, and I've been the most negative fan you probably know, if that's correct. I don't know for sure. I'm a pretty negative Sixers fan.
I mean,
But
I know people that just are like, I can't watch the Sixers at
yeah.
this point,
Well,
and
no,
at least you
I'm
still
not going to be
watch.
negative and not watch them. I
Right,
hate watch them. I
right.
hate watching them, but I
No,
watch them.
I mean, I don't do that, but they've
But
definitely frustrated me.
this season, I'm trying to just stay positive and just watch the young guys play and appreciate how well Edgecombe plays, Maxi plays, Barlow plays. Like I'm just trying to appreciate that
No,
rather than sit on my ass and be negative about, oh, we're not going to win a championship. We're not going to make it past the first and second round, which is probably true. We might not even make it at all. But I don't know. With the Flyers, it's been so long that I feel like fans are starting to watch more. They're seeing winning hockey. I don't want the Flyers to turn into what the Sixers have been or what the Phillies have been. Like you know,
no, but I think
it'll
it.
turn into that they got to win one soon when they start to get good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they're gonna have to win.
and they've got to get better, but I think they can do that while, throwing in a playoff berth in there. Like I don't think that
Yeah.
ever hurts. And I think, we kind of know this roster is not probably constructed to win this year. You never know. Hockey's a weird sport, but
We'll see though.
I think I'm glad that they're playing well right now. Yeah, I'm very happy that they're
Yeah.
playing well
I
right now.
enjoy watching Flyers hockey again. I think the last
Yeah,
time I enjoyed watching it, like you said, was the 2019-2020 season. It was
right.
the last fun
So,
time to watch.
that's really good. But the third topic that we wanted to get into was separate from the whole sports conversation, is just a conversation kind of more about our lives and like our personal side to this. So, for those of you who are watching and are new that don't know, I go to Temple University, Shy goes to Westchester, and the conversation that we wanted to have was about finding your like niche at school. And what we mean by that is like an activity, whether that's a fraternity. Shy does a radio show at Westchester Mondays 8 to 10, right?
Yeah.
And he does broadcasting for the basketball and football games, baseball too, right?
Yeah, baseball. We were supposed to do hockey, but I don't think we're doing that anymore.
Yeah. So, and then I at Temple, I'm a manager for the men's basketball team, and we love what we do at school. Like, I mean, we love the activities that we kind of added along with education and all that stuff and built in with, and we still, go out in our regular,
Yeah.
college kids. It's not like this stuff massively takes away from that. But I'll kind of ask you first, like going into college when you were high school, like did you know that you wanted to kind of have this stuff like packed in? Because I knew that I wanted to be a manager. Like I reached out when I was already in high school to our director of basketball operations. Like I reached out and was like, "Hey, like I would love to do this." And they kind of got me set up with our head manager, and it just kind of went from there. And I started even before I took my first class on campus. I was already there in the summertime before my senior year, before my freshman year.
So for me, I got recruited to play football. In my mind, I knew how much time football would take up, but the other part of me was like, okay, this is not this can't just be once practice started, I'm like, this can't just be all I do here. It's not going to work out for me. Football's not forever. I could get cut, which in the future I ended up getting cut, but it's whatever. Shit happens. That's the
Hmm.
sport.
Yeah.
I knew that couldn't be the only thing I did. So I was looking around at stuff. I knew I wanted to do something in sports. I thought about being a basketball manager because that's what I did in high school. But I knew with conflicting schedules in the winter with football and going into part of the spring, I knew it wasn't going to work out. So then luckily, thank God, if I didn't see this, I don't know if I'd be doing the radio. I saw a flyer for the radio in the elevator. I'm like, you know what? I might as well try this. People have told me I've had the voice for it. Let me take the shot. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll just find something else to do. I went to school. You go to school for education.
Right.
And
Yeah.
as much as that's important, you got to find something to do in your spare time. If all you're doing is sitting in your room and fuck jerking off and doing nothing all day and just watching TikTok, like you're going to be miserable. You're going to be fucking depressed. I luckily found the radio, started a 30-minute show every week. I split an hour with this one other kid. Um, Ended up getting my own show for a whole hour. After that, second semester, was able to do like some 2-hour shows. Later on in like March, April, they're like, okay, we got to start hiring for head positions for the next semester in the fall and the spring. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can be the sports director because I was pretty close with the sports director in the spring semester doing like baseball and other stuff like that. And he kind of gave me the whole rundown if I were to get the position. I'm like, all right, this isn't too bad. Like, looks pretty good on my resume. It's fun to do. Gives me an opportunity to do sports casting, which I never did up until the football season this year. So basically, what I'm saying is, and I ended up getting the sports director job. But basically, what I'm saying is, you got to find your not so much your crowd of people, but find something you're interested in doing. As much as the major is important, like I said, so is finding shit to do in your spare time.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You can go out on the weekends, you can do your thing, but unless you're taking 17 credits, 18 credits, 20 credits in a semester and you literally have no time to do anything and you're always doing homework or like you're trying to become a doctor or like a surgeon, even still, find something to do. Go
Yeah.
do intramurals.
Right.
Go
And
ref intramurals. Go do a crafting club. Go do the radio. Like find your niche, as you said, which I barely
yeah.
fucking know what that means, but you know what I mean.
Um, so I think from my side of it, it's also like with what you do, I've gotten to stay connected with you. Like, we always keep in touch. We have, we text all the
Yeah,
time and then we have our group
yeah,
chats with our friends. But I've gotten to stay connected because I've been able to call in every week and kind
yeah,
of be like, you know, a guest on the show pretty much every week I call in. Um, from my side of it with the basketball manager thing, it balanced out the schoolwork for me. Like I think I would have struggled more with the workload of being a freshman in college and homework and tougher classes. Like it gave me a nice break every day. And I loved being at basketball practice. And some people ask me like, isn't that all tough work? I'm like, dude, I just love it. Like I
if you
love
like it,
being
it's not
around the
hard to
game of
do.
basketball. Right.
Yeah,
So, but I knew like, okay, today I might be at the facility a little bit longer. Let me get my homework done before I go. I might get home later or, we had an intramural team that we weren't the best in intramurals, our manager team, but I still love playing every week and I just was happy to be around the guys for a little bit extra time. Um, and we got to if I knew that we had an intramural game that was at 9 o'clock, I would get my homework done before, so I didn't have to worry about it. And I was going to bed at a good time. I think my position as the manager gave my schedule a lot of stability, and I'm interested in hearing if you kind of would say the same thing that like you would get your stuff done knowing you'd be at the station from
yeah,
9 to 11 or whatever it may be.
yeah. So I mean, even with football, like, and it goes with high school too. Like you do stuff in high school, you're
Hmm.
on a time restriction. Like you have a schedule set up for yourself. I
Yeah.
found out after football, when football was over, going into the winter almost after the fall was done, you got all the time in the world, but then you realize, oh, you just get more lazy. Like you don't, you're like, oh, I could just do it later. I
Right.
could just do my work later. And then I got to the point where I'm like not doing my work, you know? I would be
Hmm.
waiting last minute, the day before it's due or the day that it's due, doing a 20-page assignment or something like that. And then you realize, oh shit, this is why they gave us this much time to do the assignment. When while I was in football, I didn't even realize or cared how long the assignment was. I just knew I had to do it because I was on a time restriction. I mean, football is in season, it's for us, it was at least 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, up until 6, 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like you're on a time restriction. You're on a time restriction. So you got to do the work. And then when it's over, you don't have time. Like with the radio now, I still have a lot of free time. Like it doesn't take up as much time as a lot of people think it does. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I do most of my planning 2 hours before the show even starts because a lot of it I'm just, going off the top of my head because I'm insane. But like on those Mondays, I'm like, I got to do this stuff before I do stuff for the radio because I
Yeah.
know when it hits 10 o'clock, I'm fried after the show. I'm exhausted. It's 2 hours of me talking, and thank God I have a co-host Anthony and my other co-host Ryan. But thank God I'm done. Like I'm not doing anything after the show. I'm going to sleep. I don't even watch Monday Night Football.
Yeah, and yeah,
So
I found
I
myself
mean, for
doing
you, I
watching
can't imagine
football
what's
recently.
the latest you've stayed at the facility?
I mean, the nights that we have intramural games, like I've been there for almost like a full probably 8 to 10 hours just between
Yeah,
like, practice rebounding, and then if the game is close enough to the thing, I'll just, grab some food and hang out there. But like
yeah,
I've never complained. I've never said to myself like,
no,
"Oh, this is a loss of a day." Like I've been like, "I'm fine doing this." So I guess what, we're trying to say is find your thing. We have one friend who has who's in a fraternity. We have another friend who's in aviation school, so he's plenty busy with the stuff that
yeah,
he's got going on. And then our other friend's a biochem major, and he's like an honorary brother basically at a fraternity. Like if he had a little bit of a lighter, major and all that work and was maybe a year younger and not so damn old, I think that he'd probably also be in a fraternity. So it's just like find your thing in school, if you have the time. But
yeah.
we're running out of time on our cheap, free Zoom podcasting setup.
Listen, it's going to continue to be free. All right. We're not fucking paying no shit to do an
Hey, if
hour. And I
it
can barely talk for 45 minutes.
hit
So
the sub button, hit the
hit that
sub
fucking
button,
subscribe button.
so we can get a better software to do our meeting on. But yeah, I think we improved this week in our recording. I think this show is definitely better than the one before, and that's the
Yeah,
goal.
the one before was a little rough.
So
But
hopefully next week, our first show with an Eagles victory. We're gonna do it Sunday night. So
yeah,
yeah. Oh wait, they play Monday, so it'll be probably Tuesday because I
yeah.
don't know if you're doing the show Monday, but
Yeah, no, probably not. It's another Monday. I'm not going to do the show.
so then maybe we will do it Monday.
All right.
But um, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.